Guess who's back? Again. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Cat Talks. This is the place where I talk primarily about books. It's been so long I don't even know where the bookshelf is anymore. Primarily about books, but also about cross-stitch. And today there's a hair stuck to me. This video is a hot mess. Today I'm going to be talking about cross-stitch. I'm going to take you guys through all of the WIPs because I've got a lot of WIPs to take you through, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So let's get started. This one's on the fly, people. So the first WIP we have is Do Good Recklessly. This was one of the sort of like small, easy to do charts that they do about social justice or about books or whatever it is that month. I think these are designed by, this is from the Crossstitch magazine. I can't remember which one. I got it as a freebie for trying a subscription service online. And yeah, I just really like it. I'm thinking about putting it as a patch on one of my project bags or possibly sending it to a friend who does a lot of good, a lot more than me. But yeah, so that's the first one. This one probably will be finished this month. Then we have a WIP that I went home to get. That's back to England. And this is Harvest Mice by Heritage Crafts, and this is where we are at with that one. So in the month of June, I got this out and I scribbled on the original chart, I know. But I don't have a photocopier, and I did all of this, and in Mayish finished up this one as well. So I've only got the mice and the back stitching to go, which is very exciting. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. How do people do this? How do people have this many hands? Hang on. Maybe something like this. This is actually going to be a Christmas present or birthday present for my dad, but it was supposed to be a Christmas and or birthday present for my dad several years ago, so fingers crossed. This is the project bag I was talking about patching. I really like it. I've done 2 of these now. This is the second one I did. And it's got some little white lining and a pocket. I made this. Pretty excited about it. And this is of course Pandemic, and if you haven't heard about this, I'm fairly sure this might be the first time you've heard of cross-stitch. This is a chart by a lady in England called Long Dog Samplers. It's huge. I've only done this bit. It's actually off the key snaps today because I only have one pair of key snaps now. They're on something else. So this is the bottom left corner. Bottom left corner. Can you see that? This little bunny rabbit is the cutest thing in the entire world. This one right here. So I'm stitching this on the 28 count Swigart Opalescent, which I wanted to look a bit like a beach. And then I'm using Mrs. Sadus silks in the colour Darling for all of the full crosses, 1/1. And then for the back stitching, I'm using a sulky 30 weight thread, which is just the normal machine thread. Well, it said it was sulky, I believe it, but it actually says on top, good to know, so, which are the creators of sulky threads. So I think it's a sulky thread. It said sulky when I bought it. Who knows? Who knows? This is the colour I'm using for the back stitching, which is perfect. And I still have it in the original bag, inside a plastic bag, because I'm an animal. It's actually because I'm afraid to cut it. Darling. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It did come, I will warn you, it did come smelling very strongly. It set off a really bad migraine. But, you know, that was my fault for not letting her know that was going to be a problem. I didn't really think about it. I didn't think it would come scented. 3 more WIPs to go. I used to be a 1 at a time stitcher. What happened to me was Flosstube. So I've been watching a lot of Flosstube, which is why I decided to make this. So this one is a permanent of Copenhagen, and I use these little plastic kind of waxy bags that you get from the stationery store. That was the pattern, but you won't be able to read it because the waxy bag is sort of vaguely not see-through. So So this is where I am at. Let's get this part of the threads out of the way. Apparently not all of them. I've done all of the grass and the handles and the wheelbarrow's all done. It's just the flowers and red and blue flowers. There's even little butterflies poking out from underneath the ground skirt. And this will look like, maybe I should have prepared a little better for this. This will look like this when it's finished. So I'm excited, I am enjoying it. Permin of Scandinavian don't seem to have names for their charts, they just have numbers. So the number is 92-8105. If you want to look it up. I call it my butterflies, my blue butterflies project, or butterflies and wheelbarrow. This is actually, I don't know, I didn't mean to pick this up. This wasn't like I went to the store to buy a kit. This was just so relaxing to me. It was so like tranquil. I just needed it. It was during the start of the pandemic, when it was still in China only and nobody in the West believed it would come here. And I did, because I'm one of those people. So yeah, we were lucky enough to get preparing a little bit ahead of time. This is Words to Live by Tiny Modernist, who is one of my favourite designers, I think. And I do not have the picture of what it should look like printed out, but here is where I'm at. And this was a monthly sale, monthly stitch along. And I obviously, this was the first time I'd ever bought my own Ada, I think, and I did not do the checking, is it big enough, very well. So it's big enough for the stitching, but not really much else. So it doesn't actually fit on the Q-snaps. The middle bit did, I did the middle bit on the Q-snaps. The rest of it does not, so I'm stitching this in hoop or in hand, which is very hard with black Ada actually, and just rolling up what I can. This middle section is probably my favourite section. So originally we got this month by month, but I joined after everything. So hopefully I will be doing this section and this section this month. That's the plan. And it's just really cute, I really love it. I started here, did these two, and then did this one, and then came down to do this one. I love the leaves and the back stitching and the colours, I just love this. And because it's so close to the edge of the fabric, I'll probably be finishing this as a giant cushion, because there's no beads, there's no French knots, so it won't be uncomfortable if I do end up sitting on it. Not that you sit on cross-stitch cushions, obviously, I totally do. And this, again, this is another project bag I made. Colours really reminded me of this project, which is why it's in this bag, even though this is really a Q-snap bag. It's funny because my Q-snap projects aren't in project bags. And I made, so this is the lining fabric, and I made a little thread bag to match with the outside fabric at the top. What I'm saying is I'm very sad. My life has become very exciting. And the final work in progress is going to be a bit hard to show you, so I'm just going to pop a picture of it in here somewhere. And this is supersized Story Keep Unicorn Valley the Woodfalls by Jan Patrick Krasny. This is, I love this piece. It just, again, it feels very tranquil to me. It feels very relaxing. I just love the oranges, the pinks, and I'm looking forward though to getting to the bottom of it, because actually stuff happens there, whereas nothing is happening in this. I've got a little bit of a bird, but the birds will come, hopefully. So that's all the WIPs. So it's not too bad. Let's go to finishes. So I'm going to start with two FFOs. We started and finished these projects during the year. These were both coronavirus projects. There is Be Well. I think this one might be by the Drawn Thread, and Be Well. And I made cushions of them both. This was the first one I made. And then I did this one, which I really love. It's got matching backing fabric and a little tassel. And the tassel cleverly covers up the fact that I made a terrible mistake and tore the fabric, or cut into the fabric anyway. But I love this. I did want to do the satin stitches for the bees, but I didn't at the time have any even weave. I'd never stitched an even weave, so I just did it on Ada, did the full cross. And I love these. These sit in our entrance hall, or in our entrance hall. It's just part of the living room. On our table where we leave our keys, that's what I meant to say. But these sit there just like as a little welcome to the house, and I love them. I love this little finish. I got this idea of finishing these cushions from Brenda over at Handwork Maniac, and it just made me really happy. And I want to do another one, I think, of Let's Stay Home by Satsuma Street, but I haven't yet done that because I don't have the Ada and also I have too many WIPs. I think I might do it once I finish Do Good Recklessly. But these are my FFOs. And then I can't actually remember if I already showed you this finished, but this is Harrogate and York. It's a map of my home here. I live here. There is some gold thread, so I'll bring you up close. There is some gold thread, like for example here in the York Minster, or Micklegate Bar, sorry. There is some in the York Minster. Just in the window. I love this one of Knaresborough. My dad used to live in Knaresborough and I was sending him like bit by bit updates of all the different houses. Unfortunately, he did take that as an inspiration for my Christmas present, so I have another one of these to do. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this yet. I'd love to have it up on the wall, but we don't really have that many framers in Sweden, so I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this, but I do love it. Maybe I'll make it as a cushion. Maybe everything I make will be a cushion. Next time you see me, I'll just be lying on a bed in my mini and my gigantic cushions. So now I move on to haul. Obviously, it has been a year since I last saw you guys, Flosstube community. It's been a long time since I last saw the book community. So my haul is huge. A lot of the needle minders, you just saw the haul. So instead of doing proper haul, where I go through everything I bought, I'm just going to stick to like the last month-ish. The last month, which was when I started watching Flosstube every single day again, and I saw so many things I wanted and kind of went mental. It's a problem. So I subscribed to, hey baby. So I subscribed to Crossstitch, and there are so many projects in this magazine that I wanted to start like immediately. So I won't do all of them because we'd literally be here a really long time. But I bought fabric. No, I didn't. I bought threads for this wash bag here. It's lingerie, and the wear bag as well. These are travel bags, so you can take them with you and put your laundry in. I'm going to make both of them, and they're both going to say wash. Because I can. I usually do laundry when I'm on holiday, so it's not really a problem. And the other one I bought threads to do was, see if I can show you this without showing the, yes, this little box with the bee on top, a thing that holds a tape measure. I don't know why you'd want one of those. I don't want one of those. You know those tape measures that you can press a button and they back in? I find them really scary actually. But yeah, so I don't want one of those. So what I'm going to do is do the bee on the inside of the box, and then this as the walls, and turn it into an alt box. That's the plan. Alt container. It's not a box, doesn't have a lid. But that is the first thing, so I bought those threads for that as well. I did also buy the fabric and these little projects. This is the bee one, obviously, by the colours. And this is the wash and wear. But they couldn't get the fabric because of coronavirus. So, still waiting on that one. Otherwise, I would have already done these projects. Well, I wouldn't have already done them. I would have already started them. Let's be real. And then, in my other A4 zipper bag, I bought, this is so crinkled, I bought Sisters, which is a Heaven and Earth design piece chart by Michelle Sayeta, and obviously it's the artworks by Amy Brown, and I bought this for a friend of mine. And again, they couldn't get the fabric. I will be doing this on 32 count even more. And here are all of the threads but the Krynic Solar thread. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it 1/1 or 2/110. I'm going to try both. I'm going to do a phase with both and then see which one I prefer. But yeah, I think it's actually the Krynic they can't get because everyone ran out when their factories closed in Italy, Germany. But they are back in business. They're doing socially distanced factory work now. So hopefully the Krynic will come through soon. I would love some Krynic. I would love to get started on this, honestly. I just want the fabric. And I think I forgot three threads. Oh well, I didn't forget them. I clicked buy, but the site wasn't multi-threaded, which won't mean anything to a non-programmer, but essentially if you bought one thread and then bought another thread, it would only add the second thread if you clicked too fast, so you had to click really slowly, which was very frustrating. But yes, I bought the other 4 threads as well. And then the final project I kitted up, because apparently I just kit things up and don't start them, is this mystery project on Blackadder. This is the Blackadder I got to match Words to Live By. It's just 14 count Blackadder. It's big enough for this project. And this is going to make another cushion, but it's not staying in my house, it's going to a friend. So I do have projects to do. I'm just trying not to start any because I have too many WIPs, which is a problem because it just means I buy magazines. I also bought a tacky bob. How 90s is this? This is like the most retro thing I've ever seen, but it's kind of gorgeous. And I bought this because along with the chronic, I also bought a really small to try it out beading ornament, which hasn't come because it's with the chronic, but hopefully one day we'll get to use this, see what all the fuss is about. My partner's going to wake up and just see mess on the floor everywhere, be like, what happened here? So the last couple of things I bought are mostly charts or magazines. First I bought a online only subscription, or digital only subscription to World of Crossstitching, which added so many more charts to my want to sew list. So I keep a list in my Filofax. When I read a magazine, I'll put the magazine name and then a list of all the charts in there that I want to stitch like right now, or like I'm interested in stitching. And that list has exploded because when you subscribed for a year to World of Crossstitching, it actually let you subscribe, or it gave you the last 12 issues as well for free, so I have a problem. And I also got these 2 second-hand, or all 3 of these second-hand. So the first thing I bought when I discovered the online Swedish eBay was a Heaven and Earth Designs kit called Euphoria by Nene Thomas, and it's this woman riding a horse, and it's just gorgeous. But I mean, I have to protect this like gold because this design is out of print now. So she's my baby. She actually lives here and she doesn't live here. And I think I would love to stitch her after I stitch Sisters and Supersized Story Keep Unicorn Valley of the Waterfalls. But I think I need a mini in between to like palette cleanse because I don't really even want to be doing 2 hides at once, but I want to get started in Sisters because it means a lot to me. And then the last, I promise this is the end, the last 2 things I bought were 2 magazines in the same second-hand lot online, and these are really old. So this one is from 1997 and this one is from 1993. And to be honest, I didn't even buy them because I wanted charts inside them. I bought them because the idea of owning something, a magazine so old, and like seeing what stitching was like and seeing the terminology and the people talking and stuff from the year I was born and then the year I was 5-ish. I don't know, it really made me happy. So the funny thing is this is magazine sized, but the 1992 one is bigger, it's longer, wider. So yeah, I'm really excited to read these, but I thought I'd best film first because otherwise I would never film and I would just read magazines all day, every day. So yeah, I'm very excited. I did find one cute pattern in this one just when I like literally picked it up and opened, and it was this cute little like rain and shine pattern. I'll show you it later when I stitch it, or probably more likely when I kit it up and don't stitch it. But yeah, so that is my haul.